British East Asian can be tough. You can be body shamed by your own community.
Instead of saying, hi, how are you? They go, hi, you've got fat.
You can feel bad for looking different.
Quite a lot of fat. You're no lie.
And you can be fetishized for your race.
They love this Oriental aesthetic. They love it.
Sometimes it feels you're never quite Asian enough and never quite British enough.
This is something that will not change overnight.
I'm Elaine Chong, and I'm British-born Chinese.
I got this. Go.
And I'm going to show what it's really like to be East Asian in Britain. The reality of being an Asian woman is that we are fetishized. Like I'm just another Asian, not Elaine from London. The sexual stereotype of us being submissive and petite, and apparently having sideways fannies, is dehumanizing. And it's a really big problem. Asian porn is the most watched genre on Pornhub.
You probably think that I can shoot ping pong balls with my vagina. Yup.
Fuck you, Chinese porn transvestite, which I sworn. Why?
I'm showing Evelyn the kinds of disgusting messages I get sent online. It's full on.
Could need a nice relaxing massage with a happy ending from Elaine. Good morning, Oriental Miracle.
Hello.
I'm gonna be honest, I never slept with an Asian girl before and I've always wanted to, winky face.
As in, like, just check you off the list. An Asian girl, yeah.
I don't know. I did not stick around long enough to find out. Says he works at the BBC, maybe I know him.
Online dating already sucks, but as an Asian woman, it sucks in a sexist and racist way.
How can we want to date?
You've frozen yourself out of the dating game.
Yeah, and I don't think there's like a spring or something that's coming that's
you
going to
just
pull
want
me out.
You just want to be in the back of the freezer.
Like my mum's dumplings or something.
But some Asian women play up to hypersexualization and make it work for them. Samantha Sun is an exotic dancer who employs Asian stereotypes for money.
Hello! How are you doing? Oh my goodness! What are you wearing?
No, I'm just wearing this to rehearse. This is my casual.
This is just your casual,
Casual me.
Tonight she's performing at an Asian cabaret night, and Samantha's asked me to help undress her on stage.
Alright, let's do this. I feel like a tissue box.
Where did you find this?
I feel like an object. I'm glad I'm not going to be on stage for like that long.
No, you're just
I'm just gonna help you like, shoop, and then take it off and then scurry away.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Getting nice and up close and personal with me.
Much better, thank you.
Is everything at the bottom?
Yes. Oh wait, just a bit more.
I'm gonna do my own butthole.
Okay.
For your sake.
Thank you.
And we have an all-Asian lineup. There will be no white faces and bathrobes this evening. We don't believe in culture appropriation. And of course, thank you so much for giving us your money. As Asians, we love your money. Please welcome to the stage, Samantha Sun!
I'm smiling, but I'm on edge. Most people are simply here to enjoy a fun night out. But I worry that Samantha's show is potentially giving a free pass to men to sexualize Asian women.
Hi everyone. Well done, Sam. Designed for the audience to be like and film, but
Everyone needs like something for their one thing.
and I guess you're okay with that, right? And
It's fine. It's an honor.
This yellow fever that people have disgusts me. I think it's grounded in white supremacy, colonialism and misogyny. It's especially bad for young Asian girls who get sexualized from an early age.
I've been really aware about the hypersexualization forever. I don't really know what it is about the UK in particular. They love this like oriental aesthetic. They love it. They love it. They want, if it's between me and someone like a model, a regular ass like blonde tanned model from Essex,
Right.
and me in a kimono, they'll choose me every single time.
So how do you feel that when there are these sorts of white men in the audience and they're looking at you as an Asian woman as opposed to you, Sam Sun?
My only real sort of option that I think to subvert this sort of thing is be like, okay, I will deal with all these people who clearly have yellow fever and then say, I will take this job, but I get to decide what my narrative is. I get to present myself how I want to present myself so that people can see something that's subversive and artistic and beautiful and creative that's not just overtly racist.
But from the outsider's point of view, who they don't know about what's the best way to do sex work or to be an Asian feminist, I'm not even so worried about the people with the yellow fever. I think it just trickles down throughout all of society that Asian women are this certain way.
Yeah.
Because they've seen like an inordinate amount of geishas and massage parlors, and that's what their idea of Asian women as like submissive, obedience.
I don't know. I think that, you know what, the real honest answer is, I don't know, and I'm still figuring out.
With Asian women being hypersexualized in the West, at the same time, Asian men are desexualized as somehow being weak and undesirable.
I look like I've had a call girl before, right?
You don't look like you've called a girl before.
There's a nasty preoccupation with Asian male genitals too.
Oh my god.
We had a sick night, bitches.
So how do Asian men deal with this?
Being a Chinese comedian is the easiest minority to be. For example, it's much easier than being a female comedian because no one ever comes up to me after a gig and goes, hey, you're pretty funny for a Chinese comedian. No one ever prefaces a compliment with, I don't usually find Chinese people funny.
Do you think that if you were white now, you'd be getting more girls?
I think with everything I have in terms of that, I'm a comedian who's been on TV and radio and stuff. I'm actually confident socially, I'm funny, all that stuff. So even then, I'm still not getting that many women attracted to me compared to if I was white.
Have you been on dating apps?
Oh yeah, I've been on them a bit. I don't think I've had many matches. No one was really romantically interested in me. I think when you're a teenager, when you're Chinese, you already realise that you're not big sexualised. People don't really fancy you. You're never like someone's crush. Back then, I don't think I thought of it in terms of race as much. Actually, I thought of it in terms of something I should change.
Mm-hmm.
On a kind of subconscious level, I did comedy to be more attractive in a way.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I knew on some level that women would be more interested in me if I did stuff like that.
Hey guys, JT Tran here with another dating advice video for you guys.
We're meeting JT Tran to see how Asian men are affected by racism in dating and how they can find their confidence.
So here's an interesting, if somewhat disheartening fact. There was a study that showed that in order for an Asian man to get the same response rate as a white male, we have to make $247,000 more. Like, that's a Rolls Royce. You need a Rolls Royce in your profile picture to get the same response rate as, like, you know, Joe Schmo. So Rolls Royce.
Oh, JT, when did you start teaching people how to date or pick up girls?
I was very much a late bloomer, which is pretty common amongst Asian Americans. Yeah. I didn't kiss my first girl until the age of 20.
So how can Asian men deal with rejection like this?
So I'm going to do a quick exercise. First of all, Ken, okay, I'm going to ask you to close your ears. All right, Elaine, Ken is going to approach you. And Elaine, I need you to be a straight up bitch to him. To be like you're too short, you got a small penis, you don't make enough money, I want you to reject them in the most harshest way possible.
I really wasn't looking forward to being horrible to Ken.
You ready?
Okay.
So, Ken, you're going to chat up Elaine. And every response, okay, regardless of what she says, you're going to do what I say.
Yes!
And so, in that way, you're taking a negative experience and turning it into something a little bit fun.
You want to go get some Chinese food?
No, because you're probably bad at maths.
Yes! So, do you live around here?
I hate you.
Yes! So what do you do for a living?
I hate you and your face.
Yes! You want a drink?
I was running out of ideas, so the director suggested I go for a really mean one.
Little dick!
Yes! I'm going to do that in all situations. Job interviews. Rejection.
Oh, there's something after maybe that exercise where I'm feeling really hot and sweaty and...
You feel uncomfortable doing that?
No, it's really horrible because I know that there are people who are, feeling this.
I guess right now, I just feel like this is something I've always known, so it's probably less of a shock. And it's...
I think I've always known about these stereotypes, but to have to hear it kind of be spelled out,
Yeah.
because I know that when sex is something that we don't really talk about so much in Asian culture, certainly not in our families, that there are lots of people who are going through this on their own.
Yeah.
And that's really sad.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you really affected her. That exercise affected her a lot. JT, did you used to be upset by it when you were younger?
Yeah, of course. There were times when I was upset, I was angry, but there were nights when I went home and I cried, right? Because I didn't know how to handle it.
I feel like there are certain people who are going to feel free to be racist.
There's going to be both. I mean, there are going to be people where you're just not going to be compatible, and there are some people that have toxic mentality, and you don't know until you try.
So, many of us feel like Asian women are fetishized, and Asian men are desexualized, so that's not great. But what about attitudes to sex within the Asian community? It's time to talk about being queer. I've never told my parents I'm bisexual. Sexuality is not something I want to ever talk to them about. But there are some British East Asians who just want to be themselves, despite how their parents might feel. Rena is an out and proud British-Japanese pop star, and she even talks to her mum about it.
Did you come out to your mum?
Basically, I came out to the press, but she read that.
Oh, so she read all of that, did all that homework, and still didn't say, hey!
Yeah, no, it wasn't like this, okay, mum and dad, like, you know how it is in Hollywood. It's like, mum and dad, I want to tell you something, and it's just like this proud moment where,
There's like a script that's been written by kind of this Western idea of like coming out. And unfortunately, not everyone adheres to that process.
And that's okay.
I like that.
So what's wrong with you?
But I've never come out to my parents, not formally, not in the way that, we've been talking about.
Yeah.
I think at this point it doesn't seem necessary. Or I don't know. But I don't want to test those waters.
Right.
In Asia, because people are a lot more kind of community oriented.
Yeah.
You don't live just for you live for your family.
Yeah.
So it's less about your own personal wants and desires.
That is exactly it. I mean, it's just individual, it's collective, it's like the whole.
But we're here. So
Exactly.
Like they put us in this situation where it is about more. You can try and achieve your dream if you can, right? And then so because we're in between that, I don't really like it so much.
I know. No, I get it.
I'm impressed that Rena speaks so openly about being bisexual, but I want to ask Rena's mum how she feels about it.
It really surprises me when I hear about non-Asian families and they're having frank discussions about sex and being responsible and stuff. And I'm like, you do that?
I know, it's a completely foreign thing to me. Like, I never had the chat with my mum.
No way.
No way. I can't even imagine watching like a sex scene with my mum.
Leave the room, leave the house, leave the world.
Exactly.
No.
Mosh.
Hello, it's so nice to meet you.
That's so nice to meet you too. Hi.
We were talking about what's it like to come out to your parents, because I can never, it makes my lower back itch thinking about talking to my parents about this stuff. But Rena's already done that with you.
We never had the coming out chat. And I think I specifically chose to come out in interviews. Yeah, how did it feel finding out about me through the press?
You're just kind of ordinary, so it wasn't that shock, but kind of like confirmed. I found that you're very confident on your sexuality in any interview, so I thought that I shouldn't judge you.
My mum is super liberal for Japanese as an extension of whether there's Asian guilt or shame. Like, do you feel that personally?
I don't think I feel shame so much. In fact, I feel pride, right? But I don't feel the pride and the rainbow at home. But I find it really encouraging that, you know, you can talk to Rena openly about this, because it makes me think like, oh, you know, this is me talking to my parents.
It might take time. Rena opened my world little by little.
Thank you.
So, no matter what happened, I think I'm gonna accept.
We have to give our parents some credit, because parents are humans too, and remember they decided to move here. And so they want their world a little bit opened, maybe.
My parents may watch this, so that would be coming out, I guess. But I'm not going to tell them myself. And I'm not the only Asian who's felt this way.
I can do the sexy. Who want to see me do sexy?
I can't imagine now a life without drag. Like, it is part of me. My character is an extension of who I am.
Did you find that when you were younger, there were things that you just kept suppressed?
Yeah, most certainly. When I was younger, I just didn't ever consider sexuality to be a thing you needed to enjoy or partake in. I was pretty much the stereotypically perfect Asian child, you know. I was doing violin, you know, GCSEs, no problem. It wasn't until university that I kind of opened my mind up a bit more. I realised, okay, I need to embrace my queerness, I need to embrace my sexuality, I can't suppress it any longer. I'm in a stage where I'm very happy and I'm very much in control of, like, my happiness and my life.
I'm inspired by how drag has given Jackie so much confidence in her sexuality. So I want to give it a go.
So how can I become a drag king?
Have you ever used contour sticks before? So we do like a sort of a gentle line just underneath to get a bit more of that jaw coming out. To be honest, I feel like you might not need it because you've got strong jaw, yeah. So just to get a bit more of a shadow, you can even potentially have a bit of a cleft going on there.
That arse chin, yeah.
That arse chin, the good old arse chin.
I feel like a Mortal Kombat character.
So the key thing is get 2 long strips, and they are the ones that are going to be the centre of it.
So this is what binding is.
Okay, so you just hold that in place.
So you've got to drag your boobs to your armpit?
Yes.
Oh, that's just so weird. It's like the opposite of like what women have been.
I know, smooth that over. Okay. I think we're good. Being rebellious.
Do you put socks down you?
I used to, but I do have my own penis now.
Oh, do you?
It's standard kind of prosthetic something. Yeah.
Wow. Feels like, do you remember those alien
eggs, yeah. But the sock can work.
Oh my gosh.
Put it slightly lower. Yeah.
Is that right?
Low.
Okay, so how would you break my ball scratching right now?
It's a little bit timid. Yeah. Wow. Both times straight?
Yeah.
How's your pack?
I'm like
still facing the right way.
I think tonight is going to be fun. I've never done anything like this before. Maybe drag is actually going to change my life and make me feel more confident being out.
Right, ready to go? Yeah, let's do this. All right, let's go. Tonight, I have the absolute pleasure of welcoming one individual, and they are stepping into the world that is this wonderful queer Asian community and family.
There are no words for this feeling.
I got this. I'm so proud to welcome the fantastic and incredible Soy Interview.
I didn't plan on them kissing anyone, but I just thought, I guess this is the character, this is what the character's gonna do. You know, it's so not me to just touch a stranger, kiss their hand, kiss their cheek. It was fun. It was fun.
Thank you so much for coming tonight.
Being British East Asian can be tough. You can be body shamed by your own community.
Instead of saying, hi, how are you? They go, hi, you've got fat.
You can feel bad for looking different.
Quite a lot of fat. It's a lie.
And you can be fetishized for your race.
They love this Oriental aesthetic. They love it.
Sometimes it feels you're never quite Asian enough and never quite British enough.
This is something that will not change overnight.
I'm Elaine Chong, and I'm British-born Chinese.
I got this. Go.
And I'm going to show what it's really like to be East Asian in Britain. From Taiwan to Korea to the Philippines, Asian people all look different to each other. But increasingly, there's an extremely strict formula for Asian beauty. It's the pale skin, big eyes, and razor-sharp V-shaped jawline. Some people say it's to look more Western. But with 4.5 billion Asians on the planet, we have our own beauty standards going on. With K-pop reaching every corner of the globe, these contrived features have become extremely desirable. And I don't know how anyone can live up to that, certainly not me. But one man who's trying is Ollie London. Ollie London is Britain's only K-pop star. The thing is, he's not actually Korean, he's British.
Hi,
How are you? You're looking very K-pop. I like this.
Do you like it?
Thank you very much. Wow.
You think so? I'm thinking it's colourful, yes. K-pop,
K-pop's very colourful. It's bright. It's fun. It's funky.
Ollie London has undergone over 15 plastic surgeries, from chin and jaw surgery to eyebrow lifts and nose jobs, 5 of them to achieve his dream of having the perfect K-pop face.
You down. They all wanna crush me on the K-pop scene. Click, click, take another pic. Tell me what you think when you look at me.
Brilliant. That was a really good take.
I heard the lyrics a little bit, but can you explain a little bit more about the song?
So basically the song is called Mirror Mirror because I get trolled so much online and they say you'll never be a Korean pop star and stuff, even though I've had 2 top 8 hits in the iTunes chart. Particularly the issue people seem to have with me is because I'm British, I'm not Korean.
Do you think you look Korean?
I think I look very much like a K-pop star. The K-pop stars, the vast majority of them, they have surgery, so it's like, you know, for anyone trying to be a K-pop, they have to have a certain look, and it's very, very specific.
Yeah, right? So you can do a distinction between the K-pop star look and looking Korean.
Right, obviously, I'm not trying to change my race and look Korean, I just want the K-pop look.
But do you see how, like, why that might be a bit sensitive? Like, maybe Asian people?
I get why people would say that. Like, you know, I think it's 2020, everyone's entitled to embrace different cultures. So by doing the K-pop, that's because I have an appreciation for that culture. And I get why some people from, you know, from an Asian background would think that's very weird.
Something that's really intriguing about Ollie London is that he somehow penetrated that tiny, strict bubble because he's had the surgery to look Korean or look more like a K-pop star actually. And I don't know, I think it's such an odd and unique situation. I don't know how to compute that. I'm lost.
One thing I don't want to do is see your chin.
Yeah, I don't want to have a double chin, yeah.
I agree. I want to make sure that you look.
Do I need to have the elevated maybe or somehow?
Yes, I'm going to put more paper.
Yeah. Is that better? Like that?
I think with K-pop and the impossible beauty standards that they set, that's just yet another representation of what an Asian person could be, which I can't fulfill.
K-pop is the latest version of this unattainable, ever-changing ideal of Asian beauty. Plastic surgery is less stigmatized in Asia, so it's easy to transform yourself if you really want to have the nose or shave your jaw to look like a K-pop star. But the key thing is big eyes. So this is my face. Do you see my eyelids? They're what's called monolids. A monolid is an eyelid that has no crease, which makes many Asian eyes look small. And generally speaking, Asian people don't like monolids, and many opt for surgery to change them.
I want to know what you might do to my face to make me look more like the perfect Asian woman.
The Asian standards of beauty are very prescriptive. There's only one type of beauty. In the end, they're all trying to get that same sort of big, wide-eyed look, the heart-shaped face for the woman. You know, the Asians are aspirational. For them, beauty is very attainable.
It seems to me that, you know, Asian people are more ready to just get plastic surgery.
They do live in a difficult time where their photograph is put on a CV and other people are judging their beauty.
Yeah.
And it affects everything from career prospects and opportunities to, marriage. Just for instance, you know, if you are born reasonably average looking in an Asian household, parents of the household would be judged if they weren't offering you an improvement. They don't think that they are tearing down this child, which is very different from the Caucasian ideal. If you're average, then that's fine. That's, you know, what you were given.
So, as far as I'm concerned, I've always had monolids. I'm the only one in my family who has monolids. And it was something that got brought up, that it was something that had to be fixed.
You actually do have a double eyelid. You don't have a mono eyelid. But your crease is not strong. So basically these are magic eyelid tapes. So what we do is we're going to stick this tape into your natural crease. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this glue. Okay, this is a glue that I bought in Korea.
Oh, it feels weird.
I'm going to put this little pitchfork-like design.
Ooh, I feel you going along my eyeballs.
Okay.
Quite a lot of fat.
But but this is like a crystal ball. It allows you to look at what the surgical result can
If I
achieve.
could be beautiful. Right, okay.
No, you are beautiful. So now you can relax and look straight ahead. Look straight at me.
Okay.
Yeah? So now you've got a crease. Now remember, this is not surgery. We're only simulating what the eyelid would look like if it was tighter. So have a look at your left eye and you have a crease. Do you see that?
I can see the crease, but I have to say, I just thought it would be a bigger, like, whoa!
Well, then people wouldn't be having surgery, right? They'd just be using glue.
So something that does annoy me as well about, when people say, all Asians look the same, I can bristle about that if it's a non-Asian person saying it, but for me privately, I am a little bit concerned that because of this uniformity, what if Asians end up looking all the same?
It really bothers me that some Asian people hate the way they look, and that monolids are something that need to be fixed. Of course eyes are a sore subject. At school here in the UK, people slant their eyes and make jokes about us. Today, Ollie's having another procedure, this time to make his eyes look more Asian.
So basically, Dr. Dida is going to help me achieve more almond-shaped eyes.
With all cases, it's the other way around because normally Asian people, they do the surgery to get that as a Caucasian side one.
Do you think Asian people have the wider surgery to look more Western?
Not all of them.
Yeah.
This is a pattern of the beauty. We're gonna do the reverse one. So we're gonna move close to eyelid, create more collagen there. Then that collagen is gonna pull the eyelid down.
To make the eyes smaller?
And look like Asian eye.
To make it look like an Asian eye. So if you're looking at my eyes right now, we're gonna make Ollie's big double-eyelided eyes.
Yes, drop, yes.
This conversation is getting on my nerves. I want to set a long-standing false assumption about Asian people getting plastic surgery straight.
I know that lots of Western people think that Asian people want to get these surgeries to look more Western or look more white.
Not really.
Why would Asian person change their features? For example, eye. It's not problem, it's not aged. They want to change their shape. Therefore, they want to look like a different race, isn't it? Otherwise, why would they do it?
The features some people like to get in Asia, they will show the doctor, I want to look like this, and they get their beauty ideals from fashion magazines. Because if you go to China, I've lived in Korea for a year, I've been to China, I've been all over Asia, Kazakhstan, everywhere you go is Western beauty ideals are indoctrinated. So that's what people are looking at these days as a symbol of beauty, and it's sad that people want to change because they've seen a magazine, but unfortunately that's just the way it is.
I think it's a very white privileged thing to say, oh,
You get upset by this, like,
I do get upset by this
decision.
I do get
I'm not affecting your life. I'm not affecting anyone. It's a personal decision.
Oh no, I'm not upset with you.
No, but you're criticising me. You're basically saying in a very subtle way that I'm trying to be racist because I'm trying to change the way I look.
Actually, no, that's not what I'm doing.
Should we cut this? Should we cut this?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't think Asian
You're
people.
trying to make this about race. It's not about race. It's about I want to look a certain way.
It makes me feel really, really gutted that there are Asian people who are wanting to put themselves through these surgeries because they think, oh, I want to look more Western. But it's not about wanting to look more Western. So I think it's about wanting to fit in. Because they have been, over years, been made to feel bad about the way they look. This is something that will not change overnight. It just makes me feel really disgusted.
It looks like there's a deep-seated hurt or pain.
That's what I was thinking. The questions were getting a bit heated, but she's maybe felt pressure to look a certain way, and also she may have experienced bullying when she was younger.
I think it's nothing to do with Ollie. My last year of primary school, I moved to this really white majority school. So not only was I new, but I also just looked so different. And then so that was the first time I was like, oh, I feel like I'm an outsider. And not only did I feel like it, my outsides matched me being the outsider. And so here I am, trying to explain something which isn't actually about, Ollie, but he's taken it quite personally. And I'm sorry for that, because I think he's misunderstood something along the way. Hey, Ollie.
To continue.
Yeah,
You're going to do the injection.
it wasn't, I swear down, like, it wasn't about you.
I know it's don't worry.
Go on, Ollie. Can you smell something?
Yeah, it's like a burning size.
Ollie, I want you not to move, not to talk. No jerky movement. Hold on.
It's actually not painful. It's just
Amazing.
very sensitive area.
The last one, yeah?
Brilliant, yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Breathe through your nose.
So blink. Sorry.
The natural reaction is to blink, isn't it?
Ollie, deep breath. In and out.
Brilliant, thank you.
Wow, you did it.
Okay, moment of truth.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it looks like makeup,
I
right?
know what you mean. It looks like they even do make out the dots. Yeah. Wow. It's changed shape already. Oh, that's beautiful.
Ollie is happy with his new Asian eyes, but it's brought up some very raw feelings for me. I guess I'm exhausted for me and for all Asians who are made to feel we don't fit in. and who deal with that by changing the way we look. So how do we get out of this toxic mindset? The answer may lie here. Bsea is a Filipina beauty queen with multiple titles and crowns to her name.
I want to put one on. I want to put on the biggest one.
Yes.
This is my moment. Yes. So you're gonna have to start acting like a real queen. I just want to say thank you.
What do you put your success down to?
So I was like, you know, a bit of Chinese, therefore I was fairer in skin. So in the Philippines, I was considered to be a little bit more above average looking, because then, you know, I've got that.
Because you were more pale.
Yes, now we're trying to embrace that more of the awareness of the Morena beauty and you know, and
What does Morena mean?
So I'm a woman of color, I am Morena. I think there's still this toxic mindset in the Philippines that exists where if you have lighter skin, you're perceived as more of a pleasure to look at. Whereas if you have darker skin tone, it's like...
But like the spectrum, I mean look at you and me. It's not that different, do you know what I'm saying? It's just degrees. I'm sure like foundation shades, we are just next to each other, aren't we?
For me, it's mind-boggling. Estelle is very beautiful.
Would you have wanted to be a beauty queen?
I think at one point I actually did want to do it, but too short, too brown, and I just didn't feel like I was pale or even white enough for these beauty pageants.
It is because we looked up to our like colonials who we feel are more superior than us, and therefore being a native Filipino is like lower than having someone like them who basically runs the whole entire country during that time.
Smells like white supremacy. I want more of the Filipino young kids or younger generations to embrace their skin color. Because once you do, it's like the most silent, yet the most powerful revolution.
I'm inspired by Estelle's resolve. The real beauty lies in how we own our Asian identities, wherever we are in the world. Today, I'm a beauty queen.
It's what you miss Philippines.
Oh my god, my dream has come true.
Estelle, how do you feel in this crown?
I feel so like... I feel really powerful right now.
Yeah?
I'm wearing this across me, like, my country. Like,
yeah, right? It's like...
this crown.
Yeah, exactly. I want you to be confident. Like, imagine, like, this is the walk of your life. Yes. And walk. Hips, longer strides.
I'll take you to ecstasy.
Being British East Asian can be tough. You can be body shamed by your own community.
Instead of saying, hi, how are you? They go, hi, you've got fat.
You can feel bad for looking different.
Quite a lot of fat. It's a real life.
And you can be fetishized for your race.
They love this Oriental aesthetic. They love it.
Sometimes it feels you're never quite Asian enough and never quite British enough.
This is something that will not change overnight.
I'm Elaine Chong, and I'm British-born Chinese.
I got this. Go, go, go.
And I'm going to show what it's really like to be East Asian in Britain. Not that long ago, I was obese, and I got a lot of grief from my family about it. Aunties have always told me to lose weight and make comments on how big I was. But I'm not the only one who's been fat-shamed. No matter your size, Asian women feel a lot of pressure to be tiny. Ming's Singaporean and was a rising pop star in Taiwan.
Like, for me, my goal was to be a singer and I would do whatever it took to be there. At that time, I really abused my body. But the sad thing was, as I lost weight, the more popular it came. It's like if you look online and you look at some K-pop diets, like I bought you something.
Okay.
So they could literally just be having like and then some nuts. And this is what K-pop people would eat, which is really crazy and really sad. There you go. Bon appetit.
It's cabbage nuts misery. So is this breakfast or lunch or?
So for some K-pop stars, this is a meal for the whole day.
Oh no! They're so bleak.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So should we start lunch?
Yep, why not? Cheers. This is awful. At one point I wanted to kill myself. I just didn't want to be alive, which is really awful to think that I was driven to that point just purely by my weight alone. And to be honest, it even took me quite a while to even realize I had an eating disorder.
I just realised for the first time in my life, I've never actually heard someone talk about these issues in Asia and call it what it is and eat like an eating disorder. I always associate it with sort of people in the West and that's something that they go through. But of course that's what it is. It's just over there you think about it as discipline.
It's always seen as a good thing, like it's good to be skinny.
Something to be proud of.
Yeah,
right?
it's good to be that typical Asian woman who is like very tiny and petite. Once I did accept myself, I think it took about 3 years, and I slowly went back to what I now believe is my natural weight, and I'm really happy.
So the expectation is to be skinny. But in Asia, food is love, and our families are always feeding us. How am I supposed to be slim and eat all of this at the same time?
Here's the thing. In Chinese culture, if you're a lady, your job is to find a hubby, and you can't find a hubby if you're chubby. I've been chubby all of my life, and this was a big concern to my mom. So much so that she actually sat me down when I was a kid, and she told me, Evelyn, if you don't lose weight, men won't find you attractive. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. And I took that in, and I thought about it, and I was like, then I guess men aren't for me?
Do Asians have an unhealthy relationship with food?
I don't know, but I think there's something about Asians and food, which is when you come from a culture that isn't very verbally sort of expressive, like we don't say I love you to each other, and we don't hug, so there's none of that physical affection either. But then to me, I think food sort of slips into that as that method of communication.
Yes,
so
definitely.
my mom's not going to hug me, fine, but she is going to make sure if I'm back, she's got my favourite dish ready for me.
Exactly. That's what every time I go back, my mom always asks me, what do you want to eat? I'll make it. But then the other side of it is like I got fat from eating and overeating and, being fat and stuff.
Yeah.
But then it's like, no. You have to lose weight. Otherwise you won't be attractive, and then you won't find a husband, and then your life is doomed. Do you know what a mukbang is?
Yes.
Mukbang is the online eating craze from South Korea. Mukbangers live stream themselves eating, and millions of their fans watch them gorge on huge meals.
Some people say that it's about, you watch it because then you can satiate your cravings without having to eat. Who gets pleasure from watching somebody eat? It's a bit pervy. I'm worried about who watches these videos and what they do when they watch it.
Oh, I guess, but I suppose I've always imagined myself as the person doing the eating. So I'm like, yes.
So I thought we could do what?
Yes.
Just press there.
Cheers.
Wow, this is not that easy.
Are we done?
When was the last time you ate like this?
Yesterday.
The mixed messages about eating stresses me out, so I turn to fitness. Right now I'm smaller, which means the Asian aunties are nicer to me. The pressure to be skinny and stay skinny is a source of pride for some Asian people. YouTube is full of viral challenges showing off how small they are.
Yeah, no. No.
Oh,
No way. Like, this is ridiculous. Yeah, no.
See? I'm
No
wearing
way.
a A3.
You know what I am? I'm like this way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. When you said A4 paper challenge, this is actually what I imagined. The average woman in China is 5'1" and 57 kilos. Right now, I'm 5'9" and 67 kilos. I'm tall for a Brit, but in Asia, I'm basically Godzilla.
So like, I at my smallest was a size 2.
Oh my goodness. You see? Like for one, like half of me? Yeah. It's just hard to imagine like an adult woman maybe getting into...
Yeah, it's funny how Asian sizes work because of, I mean, in the UK, I'm like maybe a small and extra small.
Yeah.
But in Singapore, if I go to a sports shop, I'm normally a large and extra large. And then the thing, like, if a small is an extra large, then what does someone who has an extra large wear? There's no size for them.
They don't, do they?
Yeah, exactly. And it's sad because then it makes you feel like something's wrong with you when there's clothes that don't fit you.
No, exactly. The world's, you know, you can't really exist in the world as other people can. I feel it.
100%.
In Asia, there's a stereotype that the Asian kids who grow up in the West are bigger, even if they're not at all. It's completely normal for everyone to make unsolicited comments on your weight and to tell you to lose some, no matter what.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about how to forgive yourself. Usually when I arrive back in Hong Kong, instead of saying, hi, how are you? They go, hi, you've got fat. Like, and they'll say it in Cantonese, so like, it's literally a 3-word phrase in the same way, how are you? So they'll literally be like, hi, they hao fei. Like, that's the thing that I hear most, and I don't even speak Cantonese, yet I know what that phrase means.
I'm tired of feeling this constant pressure from my community, so I'm seeing Michelle to get some help with my body issues.
When you're body shamed, for example, what meaning are you associating with that?
I think, so what I would usually get is, oh, you're bigger since I last saw you. And they're saying it with a smile, and they're saying it as, you know, as they say hi. And then it makes me like, I want to shrivel up or not take up so much space. Like, I feel not appropriate. Even washing my hands in the sink, I'm not going to look up in the mirror, you know? It's just, I feel like genuine disgust and dread.
You are being hurt by the comments, and rightfully so, and I don't think in Asian culture it's ever really recognised enough that it hurts. A lot of this emotion is shame, and it's not yours. It's their problems with their body projected onto you. They've internalised the culture around them of being told that they were never thin enough, so they've just carried on the cycle.
Like a baton that was just passed on.
Yeah. So how about we move over to the mirror and let's get some of these beliefs out of your brain. Just the first thing that comes to mind when you look at your reflection.
I feel a bit nervous about doing this. It's not fun to look in the mirror.
Oh, it makes me feel so uncomfortable.
I feel wrong somehow. I feel not enough somehow, but then at the same time I feel also too much.
I want you to go back to a younger version of yourself, a moment in your life when you were body shamed.
I think I was about 7. I really liked horses when I was little.
Yeah.
But I was really anxious about getting on the horse because I thought I would be too heavy. That was such a paralysing fear. I might like, oh, the horse might buckle under me or something.
So go back to her.
Okay.
And say, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
That I never gave you the chance.
That I never gave you the chance.
And the best part of this
is
I'm going to take you horse riding.
Is that I'm going to take you horse riding?
And we're going to have a lot of fun.
We're going to have a lot of fun.
Because you deserve it.
Because you deserve it.
Hello, hiya. You ready to rock today?
I am, but I am a bit nervous.
Push yourself up and sleep your right leg over.
I feel like a kid. I can feel like Louis is really 30. He seems quite happy, I think. Yay! 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 How you feeling? Good? I'm feeling good. Is Louis okay? Yeah!
I think Michelle was right. The only way I can work through this is to get back on the horse, so to speak.
The worry that I felt when I was a child about maybe hurting the horse, I think it's completely unfounded. Oh, well done! Thank you for putting up with me.
It's become even more clear to me that my weight is not linked to my happiness. It's not about me physically at all, at any size. And because of that realization, I feel a lot lighter, physically and mentally. And that's a relief.